Yes. So this is our first VRC class, and honestly, I'm really happy because VRC के syllabus or VRC के study material के लिए this time I'm really excited, precisely because I refined the VRC syllabus. So the story for VRC study material that we have goes like this: कि when initially like I started it 3 years back, है ना? मैं पहले मैथ्स सिखाती थी. Maths was my thing, right? And then from maths shifting to DLR was pretty natural because students started saying that ma'am you teach DLR also, not just quants. And I was like, okay. But then people would ask कि VRC का content चाहिए, VRC का content चाहिए. And during my CAT personally, मैंने अपना VRC 100% accuracy से solve किया था. But to be able to solve VRC and to be able to teach VRC are two different things. हाँ? वैसे ही मतलब every 100% percentiler is not a good teacher, right? सिखाना किसी को और खुद से करना अलग स्किल होती है. So when I tried to, I was like, okay, तो I started finding teachers for people, and I realized कि market में ज़्यादा VRC का है नहीं, एक हाथ दो ही है, और वो भी not very comfortable courses. So that is when my journey of decoding VRC started, and then I have been improving year on year. Last year even in 2024 में I became popular as a teacher on Instagram for VRC only. Where 2025 I made it better, and then this year though I have spent even more time and tried to make our entire course entirely PYQ basis. Because VRC में क्या होता है ना, if you try to make questions from different other study materials, the interpretations change, and a lot of times you find that the answers are not aligning with the logic that CAT uses. It happens in mock tests also, like mock tests by bigger institutes also ऐसा होता है कि बहुत inconsistency होती है in the logic behind choosing the right answer. So my pursuit was कि इधर उधर का पढ़ना ही नहीं है. We have to straight target PYQs and we have to straight understand how it happens in CAT exam. So I spent a lot of time in decoding more frameworks for you. ठीक है कि सब्जेक्टिविटी हटा दो VRC की, और जितना हम उसको बॉक्सेस में डाल पाए, जितना हम स्ट्रक्चर कर पाए, उतना हम स्ट्रक्चर करेंगे. बट एट द सेम टाइम यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड दैट बाय नेचर VRC is a subjective मतलब क्या, एक इंटरप्रिटेशन मैटर करेगा. इट्स देयर इज नो फॉर्मूला, लाइक देयर आर स्ट्रिक्ट फॉर्मूले इन क्वांट्स, राइट? इट्स जस्ट अबाउट इंटरप्रेटिंग और क्लैरिफाइंग और डिकोडिंग की कौन सा फॉर्मूला आएगा. DILR भी काफी सब्जेक्टिव होता है कि तुम्हारा लॉजिक उस समय पे कैसा चलेगा, बट स्टिल यू कैन बकेट अप्रोचेस. बट VRC को एकदम एक डिफाइंड स्ट्रक्चर में कंप्लीटली डालना is tough, but I'm excited because I've tried to do it as much as I can and make it easy for you. So on the go, let me know. I want you guys to engage in VRC very, very sincerely, and on the go, keep telling me if something doesn't work out for you or not understanding. I will teach it to you again, and I'll do that for all the sections, honestly. But yeah, ठीक है. तो VRC का हम बेस्ट इन द इंडस्ट्री स्टडी मटेरियल बनाने के परस्यूट में थीम है, मतलब आई होप मैंने बना लिया है. But then of course, ठीक है. So whatever I used to teach already is already there. Whatever I've been teaching for the last 2-3 years is already there, but I've topped it up with more structured approaches as well. ठीक है. So here we are. ठीक है. Let us begin our first class. Everybody on board. सब एकदम ऐसे fresh और ready to learn mode में है. Yes, very good, very good, very good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So our first class, because today is an introductory class, we will keep it about vocabulary. ठीक है. Actually, to break it down for you, ठीक है. If we break down CAT VRC, हम ना VRC को पहले समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. ठीक है. If we break down CAT VRC for you, ठीक है. It has two parts. One is RC, another is VA, है ना? Out of 24 questions, 16 are RCs and 8 are VA. ये कितना परसेंट हुआ? हमने परसेंटेज सीख लिया है ना? बताओ कितना परसेंट हुआ ये? Good. This is 2/3, right? 66.67%. और ये हुआ 1/3, that is 33.33%. So 2/3 is RC and 1/3 is VA. ठीक है. अब ये RC में obviously there is a paragraph passage. You have to read it and answer questions, right? This is what RC section is about. And what is VA? VA has questions from there are different types of verbal ability questions. जिसमें क्या क्या आता है? You have para jumble, right? Then you have para completion. Then you have paragraph का odd one out. And then you have same paragraph का क्या होता है? para jumble, para completion, para closure passages होते हैं. On and off पूछा जाता है. And then you have para sum. right? So ये closure passages on and off पूछे जाते हैं, ठीक है? I'll tell you what they are. So these are different types of questions that come in. ये भी क्या है? ये सारा क्या है? Paragraph. ये भी सारा क्या है? Paragraph. So at the end, what you realize is, I'll tell you. So basically, it's like they give you words which are supposed to be filled in your passage. Okay, so they give you a list of words and list of fill in the blanks, and you are supposed to insert different words contextually in the passage. Okay, so ये पूरा टाइप का VRC है. So it is largely about paragraphs, right? RC part हो या VA part हो. So basically VARC at the end of it is all about reading, understanding, interpreting paragraphs, right? So we have to develop a paragraph reading and understanding skill. The entire pursuit of VARC course will be for us to understand how do we read paragraph, how do we break them into concept flow, how do we understand them, how do we interpret that what author is trying to say in paragraph. ठीक है? So this is going to be our primary goal. अब इसको करते करते क्या होगा? इसको करते करते ये होगा कि पैराग्राफ कैसे, पैराग्राफ मतलब तुम्हारा जो एक पैसेज होगा, we know that passage is made of different paras, right? And the para is made of different sentences, and the sentences are made of different words. यही है ना? तो जैसे हम क्वांट्स के, जब हम क्वांट सीखते हैं हम बेस टू एडवांस जाते हैं, तो वैसे VARC का बेस टू एडवांस क्या होगा कि फर्स्ट यू अंडरस्टैंड वर्ड्स एंड देन यू अंडरस्टैंड पैसेजेस, राइट? तो वर्ड्स समझना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज मेनी अ टाइम्स व्हाई इज VARC टफ? Why do people जिसको टफ लगता है वो टफ क्यों लगता है? Let us understand that first. So VARC at the end of it is English. 10th, 12th boards were full of English passages that we had to read and answer questions. We are used to doing it for so many years. कितने 10 साल पहले कर लिया हमने. But then why is it tough now? Maximum क्या होता होगा कि okay थोड़े higher level passages आ गए. 10th, 12th में 10th, 12th level के आते थे, अभी थोड़ा higher level के आएंगे. But still tough क्यों लगता है? That is because of two things primarily. First thing is सेंटेंस डेंसिटी. व्हाट डू मीन बाय सेंटेंस डेंसिटी? सेंटेंस डेंसिटी का मतलब ये है कि वर्ड्स पर सेंटेंस बहुत हाई होता है VARC में. देयर आर नो छोटा छोटा सेंटेंसेस जो 4-5 वर्ड्स के बने हो जिसका मीनिंग समझना आसान है. मेनी अ टाइम्स इन VARC पैसेजेस यू हैव लॉन्ग सेंटेंसेस दैट गो ऑन फॉर लाइंस एंड लाइंस. 1 2 3 4 लाइंस आ गई, फुल स्टॉप कहाँ है पता ही नहीं, फुल स्टॉप ही नहीं दिख रहा, कॉमा है, एंड डैश है, कोलन है, सेमीकोलन है, कोट्स है, पता नहीं क्या क्या है, बट फुल स्टॉप नहीं दिख रहा. So they go on 3-4 lines, one sentence only going on. So because words per sentence is really high, our comprehension, we get distracted ना कि starting में बोला था क्या, end में क्या बोला था, ये sentence का क्या मतलब है. So that is first thing that makes it tough. Secondly, what makes it tough is the topics. A lot of topics that we are not aware about. They are not part of our general reading, general knowledge. है ना? तो बहुत strange लगता है. That is why it becomes tough. And thirdly, it becomes tough. Why? Because of fancy vocabulary. Let's say it's a topic that you already know about. Let's say the sentence density is normally, but they'll use some words जो कभी सुने नहीं है, meaning तो छोड़ ही दो पता. And then we get like stuck in those words, and if we don't understand what the word means, how are we supposed to understand the sentence, let alone the paragraph, let alone the passage? यहाँ पे ये 3 points पे सबसे पहले हम अटकते हैं. First hurdle is either of these 3 points. ठीक है? And that is why we are going to learn how to break these 3, how to make it all easy. So first thing will be, as I told you, words. How to deal with fancy vocabulary. Now my understanding and the thing that I want to push for is, one way is obviously you take 5 words every day, learn their meaning, learn their use cases, etc. But honestly, it's a very impractical approach simply because there's no like 1,000 words per list as such. In English language, there are millions of words. How many are you going to learn? Like, how many can you learn? Doesn't make sense, right? फिर दूसरा अप्रोच क्या हो सकता है कि हाँ, we what do we do is we study years of RC passages and we spot difficult words that are often frequently like that come in, and जिस टाइप के पैसेजेस होते हैं उन टाइप के टॉपिक्स में कौन से टाइप के वर्ड्स यूज हो सकते हैं, तो उससे रिलेटेड वर्ड्स की लिस्ट बनाई जाए और वो वर्ड्स तुम्हारे साथ शेयर करे जाए. दैट इज पॉसिबल, राइट? बट अगेन दे विल बी लाइक 5,000 10,000 वर्ड्स, अगेन डिफिकल्ट टू कॉम्प्रेहेंड. सो how to make it easy then and how to make it smarter is by learning tools and exercises that can make vocabulary easier for you. Okay, we're going to learn tools and exercises that will make vocabulary easier for you, which will not be about you sit and you learn a word meaning, but you learn how to decode a word's meaning, right? And that is why our today's first class in vocabulary in VARC is about taming tough words. इसलिए मैंने ऐसे dramatic सा नाम दिया है इसको कि taming tough words. जो भी फैंसी वर्ड है जिनका मीनिंग नहीं पता, उनका मीनिंग हम कितना इजीली सीख सकते हैं इज व्हाट दिस क्लास इज ऑल अबाउट. ओके, सो फर्स्ट एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, जस्ट अ सेकंड. Yeah, okay. So, first and foremost, we will learn the first tool, which is my favorite tool. It's called context-based learning. ठीक है, कि tough words को context-wise कैसे decode किया जाता है. We might not know the meaning of a word, but what we know is the sentence in which it has used. And it's not, we don't have, this is not a CET exam जहाँ पे तुम्हें word का directly meaning को भी guess करने बोलेंगे. That word will be a part of a certain context. Author will be developing certain idea. किसी topic के बारे में बात हो रही है, एक certain तरीके से बात हो रही है, इसके पहले एक sentence है, बाद में एक sentence है, ये word भी किसी sentence का part है. Right? So there's a whole context. So we have to learn how can we break the sentence and understand the context in order to understand what this word might mean. ठीक है? So the first example is right in front of you. ठीक है? And इसके बाद we will start guessing. Okay? So it says even after losing the championship, even after losing मतलब हारने के बावजूद, है ना? Even after losing मतलब हारने के बावजूद. So even after losing the championship, the team's camaraderie was evident as they hugged and congratulated each other warmly. So we see they hugged and this is some happiness, and this is a loss, right? So even after a failure, everybody was hugging. There's a lot of friendly environment happening here, right? To reduce its thickness thoda. So a lot of, even after hugging, a lot of this is happening, right? So what would camaraderie mean? मैं एक बार thin pencil से लिख लेती हूँ. So this is failure, and this is happiness and friendship. है ना? Everybody is hugging and celebrating and congratulating each other. So what would camaraderie mean? Definitely it's some positive word, right? It is definitely some positive word, right? So what is the meaning according to dictionary? It means mutual trust and friendship among people who spend a lot of time together. ठीक है? तुमको इतना direct पूरा मीनिंग जानने की जरूरत नहीं है. You could just make it mutual trust and friendship. है ना? तुमको इतना फ्रेंडशिप जितना भी समझ गया तो हो गया ना, उतना ही समझना है तो हमको मीनिंग समझ गया वर्ड का, राइट? वैसे ही लेट्स डू सेकंड वन. What does meticulous mean according to the sentence? Okay, देखो, अब when you say can it mean something skillful? अभी skillful मतलब something that is done with precision again, right? So again, even if skillful might not mean the exact word, but you're understanding something that is done with attention to detail is what you are trying to say. Something which is done very nicely, skillfully, right? So that is what you mean to say, right? So अभी यहाँ पे क्या है? The lawyer presented a meticulous report. किसी तरीके के, we definitely know it's an adjective, meticulous report. Double checking every figure and fact before submission. When you're double checking everything, मतलब you are being very precise. Means you are paying a lot of attention to details. That is when you double check everything, right? So context समझने की कोशिश करो. I think one of you answered something very serious. Very serious. Again, general word बोल दिया तुमने. तुम कहना वही चाह रहे हो, बस तुमने use गलत word कर दिए कि something which is done very sincerely. You wanted to not serious, you meant sincere. Serious और sincere अलग-अलग होता है, right? So something that is done sincerely, with attention to detail, precisely, ऐसा ही लग रहा है ना, इसलिए double check कर रहा है ना. So extremely careful, precise, great attention to detail. This is what the word meticulous means. You were close, right? You're getting the essence of what it would mean, right? चलो अब third करते हैं. चलो third one. Let's do third one. Very good, very good, very good. All of you are right. क्या क्या मिला है मुझे? Rude, argumentative, loud, harsh, rude और loud, है ना? तो yes, a tone that alarms everyone. तो obviously pleasant तो नहीं होगी. If everybody was alarmed, it seemed he was ready for an argument. If he was ready for an argument, मतलब कैसा होगा tone? Argumentative is the easiest thing to say, direct thing to say. कि argumentative, rude. अभी when you say loud, loud जैसा word होता है ना, वो कैसा होता है कि when you ask somebody कि how something was, they say it was good. But good in what way? There can be so many types of good, right? So loud भी तो generic word हो गया. Loud in a harsh way, loud in a somebody is loud and clear. तो वो तो positive भी हो गया. So try not using neutral words. है ना? Loud can be positive as well as negative, right? It can be good or bad. So don't say loud because then you are making the word neutral. We want to make the word positive or negative, and here we know that the word is negative. So it's more important for you to understand कि क्योंकि हम VARC को इस तरीके से समझने वाले कि passage में author is is trying to say something positive or something negative about the said topic. वो हमें जानना बहुत जरूरी है. So here, according to the sentence, definitely the author is trying to say something negative. So rude is the word that you would want to stick to. Harsh is also something you would want to stick to. So hostile and aggressive in attitude. And aggressive, argumentative, hostile. Hostile is also somebody who is not friendly. मतलब rude. है ना? So you are correct. Okay? You were correct. Very good. Chalo. Let's do the next one. Again, when you say attitude, when you say morale, what it means, attitude is such a neutral word. Attitude का actually पता है attitude को इसमें बहुत attitude ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, but actually attitude is not the word that you can use in English like that because attitude मतलब is दृष्टिकोण. That's it. Attitude का real मतलब होता है दृष्टिकोण. दृष्टिकोण is perspective. तो attitude good or bad उसके लिए अलग अलग words होते हैं, right? So don't tell me attitude. Again, it's a neutral word. Tell me what kind of attitude or what kind of conduct. Definitely this is about some conduct. कुछ conduct है, right? Of a personality. What kind of conduct is it? Even in the face of chaos, even in chaos, chaos मतलब बहुत hodgepodge होने के बावजूद, her equanimity remained unshaken. She handled every crisis calmly. Her equanimity is some conduct, her some mental state, right? Yes, it's some mental state. It remained unshaken. This person's conduct, body behavior, mental state remained unshaken. She handled every crisis calmly. So if she handled every crisis calmly, matlab her mental state was calm, right? So the meanings I've gotten from you is balanced, calm, did not panic. Yes. So even in the face of chaos, this would mean she was calm. She did not panic. Did not panic का मतलब calm ही होता है, balanced, है ना? Demeanor is also neutral. What kind of demeanor? Demeanor is behavior. What kind of demeanor? So mental calmness and composure, especially under stress. That is what it means. Are we getting any closer to understanding what I mean when I say that you are supposed to put word under context and guess its meaning? And when I ask you to not use a neutral word and try to use a word that's either positive or negative. Because more than you knowing the meaning, what's important for us in VARC for you to know if it is used in positive sense or negative sense. That's the first stage to understand if it is a positive word or a negative word. है ना? Chalo. Let's do one more. The director's latest film was visually resplendent, filled with breathtaking landscape and vibrant colors. Is it a positive word or a negative word? Good. It's positive. Full of amazement. Amazing. ठीक है. So the viewers, कैसा amazing is what you guys are rated. Filled with breathtaking landscape and vibrant colors. मतलब yeah, you can say it was vibrant. It was bright. It was sparkly. मतलब when something is doing shimmer, 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 shimmer. नहीं, what you mean is bright, right? Joyful is also a word you're trying to express. If something was really happy and nice, you will feel joyful, but visual can't be joyful, right? Joyful is a feeling. अभी ये visually vibrant, visually amazing, visually breathtaking, visually bright, है ना? So क्या मतलब है? Attractive and impressive, fair, richly colorful and splendid. So we guessed it right. Amazing matlab attractive, visually impressive. So these are the words that we could use. Attractive, है, impressive, vibrant, bright. Okay, good, very good. So 5 sentences are done here. The first sentence hide करना बड़ा difficult है. ये तो अभी हाँ, दिख रहा है क्या तभी भी? फर्स्ट वाला तो यू गाइस मस्ट हैव रेड. सेकंड थिंग आई थिंक आई कैन, and then I can erase it. Okay. So sixth क्या है हमारा? Sixth is although his history sounded implausible. Although his history नहीं है, his story है. Although his story sounded implausible, he narrated with such a confidence that people began believing him. उसकी स्टोरी, although उसकी स्टोरी implausible साउंड करने के बावजूद उसने इतना कॉन्फिडेंस से बताया कि लोग पीपल स्टार्टेड बिलीविंग हिम. मतलब क्या होगा? समथिंग दैट इज इम्पॉसिबल, hard to believe. Implausible मतलब something, हाँ, seems like he was faking. कि something that is totally not possible, very hard to believe, very fake. But still इतना confidence से बताया कि लोगों को लगा यार हुआ होगा ऐसा कुछ, है ना? So implausible means something that seemed impossible, right? Improbable, hard to believe. ठीक है, अब चलो सेवेंथ करो. ये वर्ड तो शायद तुम्हें पहले भी पता होगा, ये पहले से पता होगा वर्ड. Her philanthropic efforts funding schools and hospitals earned her immense respect in the community. So obviously this is what? Charity. है ना? Generosity. Generosity, you know, अच्छे kindness, kind efforts. Generous or charitable is the, kind is again थोड़ा neutral हो जाएगा. Kind मतलब kind is positive, but it's like using the word good. It's, you know, charitable या generosity से करी हुई efforts basically. ठीक है, चलो अभी ये 8 करो. Okay, so we have word tough, difficult, tough, hard, challenging journey, है ना? क्या है मीनिंग? Involving a lot of effort, difficulty and tiring. Fair? Good, very good. Despite arduous journey through the mountains, the team spirit did not break. मतलब despite it being difficult and tough and tiring, challenging, team spirit did not break. Very good, you guys are getting close up. सब लोग correct आंसर देने लगे हो. चलो, do this one. ये impartial का तो मतलब पता होगा. Very good, unbiased. Unbiased is the most apt word. ठीक है, fair. Very good. Fair is a good word. Very good. So fair, unbiased, not taking any sides, impartial. ये करो. Fluency. His brevity during speeches was appreciated. He conveyed deep ideas in just few words. Deep ideas in just few words. देखो, deep idea in just few words. Clarity is good. क्या क्या words आया मेरे को? Knowledge बोला, way of thinking बोला, और क्या क्या बोला? Clarity, fluency. ठीक है. Everything is fine. Clarity आया, fluency आया. एक सेकंड. क्या हो गया इसमें? ठीक है. अगर तुम कोई भी डीप आइडियाज बहुत इससे बता पा रहे हो, मतलब क्या होता है? इट्स कॉल्ड बीइंग कंसाइज, है ना? कंसाइज मतलब when lot of things you're able to tell in fewer words. So fluency, like you all understood that it is some positive word, but it's not that they are not appreciating his fluency in how fluently he can speak. They were actually talking about how well he could articulate his thoughts. Articulation की बात हो रही है. बहुत सारे, he did not leave lot of sentences, he was able to say it all in few words. So brevity का मतलब है concise, exact use of words in speech and writing. Okay, that is what brevity. Okay, understood. So now this is the primary skill that we need to build while preparing for CAT VARC. That, yeah, of course you will have word meanings. Okay, by the way, every day on Instagram I put one word every day at 4 o'clock. It's either on the story or on the post, and I've informed it about it to you. You know, it is also present in the highlights. If you guys are not frequently using Instagram, it's all right. ठीक है, but तुम highlights में जा सकते हो. ठीक है, और highlights में जाके then just look at all the words. ठीक है, but every day one word I try to put it in. Probably we can put it on the group also for easier use, if any one of you is not on Instagram, what we'll do is on the group, and from now on, I'll make sure that on the group also we are putting the word. So every day we will learn one new word, we will see its use case in a sentence, and we'll try to guess what its meaning is, right? And that way, new and new words will keep adding in our vocabulary. Like today we learned artists, equanimity we learned. What are other words we learned today? बताओ तो chat पे कौन से words याद है तुमको आज पढ़े हुए? हाँ, belligerent. क्या मीनिंग था? मेटिकुलस. इक्वानिमिटी सीखा, रेस्प्लेंडेंट सीखा, कमरादरी सीखा, है ना? तो ऐसे वर्ड्स ना अपने बैक ऑफ द माइंड अपनी डिक्शनरी में डालते जाना है. सेंटेंस याद रखना है कि कैसे यूज किया था, तो हमें वर्ड याद रहेंगे, है ना? सो एवरी डे वी विल डू दिस कि वी विल पब्लिश वन वर्ड ऑफ द डे which can be a word for you to learn. We will figure out if there's any way to publish it on our learning portal only. There will be a word of the day every day on learning portal, and if not that, then we will publish it on the group. तुम्हें पता चली जाएगा, right? ग्रुप पे आएगा तो ग्रुप पे, अगर पब्लिश होता है लर्निंग पोर्टल पे तो वो भी I'll announce. I'll have to figure out if that can be done. ठीक है? So this is how we learn how to use and remember words and how to understand their meaning using the context. Did we find this exercise useful? Because you're done with this exercise here. Yes. And the more you start using positive or negative words to describe it, the better it will be. Avoid using neutral words. Demeanor, behavior, ऐसे good, kind, ऐसे नहीं use करना. Try. तो उससे क्या होता है, हम भी खुद को push करते हैं in order to remember better words that are already present in our vocabulary also. ठीक है? चलो, cool.